Awesome. Hello, everybody. Hi. Hello. I'm so glad that everyone was able to jump on. I see you, Rose. Hello. Hello. Oh, you can't hear me. You got to click audio. I'll text you, Rose. So my name is Samantha Rose. For those of you who don't know me, who haven't met me yet, hello. This is our official meeting. I'm really excited that you guys were able to jump on because I wanted to be able to connect one-on-one with everybody, and then also bring on a girlfriend of mine who has been a huge part of my health journey as well as just my proven journey. So we're both going to answer questions for you guys, but first we're going to do a whole ketone overview. A little backstory on me. When I first started drinking ketones, it was 5 years ago, and a friend brought me one pack, and there was only three flavors back then. Okay, there was an orange dream and a chocolate one, and then a Maui punch had just released, and when you mixed it up in water it was white, and that was not my jam. But my friend was really excited about it, and he was like, "You're gonna love this stuff. It's going to change your life, and you got to drink it. You got to try it. I really want you to try it." So I was like, okay, no problemo. I tried it. It's all natural, super clean, and I trusted his judgment, and I loved it. I felt so good that first day. My brain lit up like a Christmas tree. Okay, I was lunging around my house doing laundry with music on, having a semi dance party. And I was doing jump squats, and I went on a scooter ride with my kids, and I had energy and I felt good. And the reason why that's so important to me is because the day before that, the week before that, the month before that, I was in a really bad place in my life where I was just unmotivated to get out of bed. I was unmotivated to have any type of healthy routine. I really was just forcing a smile on my face because I wanted to set a good example for my kids. But internally, I was just not happy, not motivated, not structured, not anything. And I don't know if anybody on here can relate, but I always say that my best description of this is if you ever felt like you were at the bottom of the barrel in the worst place that you ever felt you could be, and then it just got worse, that's kind of where I was, except for it got worse twice. I'm like, there's no way that this can get worse. And that's just where I was mentally and physically. I was actually super duper skinny because I was not eating a lot and I was just unhappy. So I didn't start this journey for fat loss. I actually started my journey with ketones for the way that it made me feel, and the motivation and the happiness that it brought me, the mood, the mental clarity, and the focus. I didn't have brain fog. I wasn't crashing, in the afternoons. I was motivated to get up and get out of bed that next day when I had my second pack and my third pack and so on and so forth. 5 years later, here we are. But that second day, I actually drank 2 packs, and I confirmed. I was like, okay, this is the stuff that made me feel that good for sure, because I was kind of skeptical and I didn't really know a lot about it. He honestly was just so excited and he loved it. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And I loved it too. So over time, I started doing research and I started plugging into the science and learning all the things. And I'm passionate about science. I'm passionate about health. I'm passionate about what I put in my body. I have a lot of health challenges. For those of you who don't know, I have multiple sclerosis. I had that, I got diagnosed with that 10 years ago, and I'm great. I'm healthy, but there's times where I lack energy. There's times where I don't want to get out of bed or I can't get out of bed. And there's times where things just aren't the norm. And this whole entire process of drinking ketones and then introducing a healthier lifestyle into my life, little by little, I learned along the way, and it changed my life. It made me feel better. There are a lot of things that have improved in my life, and we'll talk about a lot of them on this Zoom, as well as things that will apply to other people's stories too. But I started eating lower carb. I started learning and plugging into the science and the education that not only the company was providing, right? We do the largest ketone convention in the entire world, and super science nerd me, I promise you, I'm in the front row with my laptop, this is so awesome, taking the best notes ever. And Cameron can definitely attest to that. But I love it, and I'm passionate about learning it, and I'm also passionate about teaching it. So that's why I love to do these Zooms. Long story short, I could talk about myself forever, but let's talk about you guys. Let's talk about the benefits. Let's talk about ketones and what it's done for other people as well. So let me give you guys a quick overview. Some people on the Zoom are brand new. and literally don't know anything about low carb or keto or ketones or anything. And some of you guys have been doing this for a little bit, right? Some of you guys haven't even received your product yet. And you're like, I just want to feel better. I want better health. I want vitality. I want fat loss. I want energy. I want these things. And you're excited to get started. So I'm just going to go over the basics, and then I'm going to run you guys through everything that we have to offer, all of our supplemental support products, how you can tie a healthy lifestyle into this, maybe some intermittent fasting, some lower carb options. We'll talk about it all. So what is keto? That's the first question I'll answer real quick, is what is keto? What is ketosis? And what are the benefits? So keto, the keto diet is what I'll talk about first. And that basically is just a diet where you are counting your carbs and you're counting your proteins and you're counting your fats, and you are doing a percentage of each one of those things throughout your day. 70% fats, 20-ish% carbohydrates, and then the rest are proteins, right? And that's a great diet for a lot of different reasons. Health benefits, incredible. Fat loss results off the charts. Neurological stuff, brain health, digestion, better mood, hormonal balance, blood sugar level balance, all these things. There's a ton of benefits. And I love keto. I'm a big advocate for it. And I also know, a lot of the benefits. So if you're ever interested in plugging into the science of that, let me know and I'll plug you into our events and stuff. But so that's the keto diet. And the goal of following the keto diet is to get into ketosis. Okay. So ketosis will give you energy, mental clarity, and focus, like brain fog gone, super, like just laser focus. The colors are more colorful, I promise. And better digestion, better mood, your hormonal balance is there. Like everything just starts to neutralize and function and work in the way that your body is natively supposed to work, right? That's why ketosis is so awesome. People like love it for a reason. Just all muscle preservation, athletic performance, better sleep, like all these things. Your body just starts to do what it does. And let me tell you something, your body stores fat for a reason, because it knows that fat is actually one of the highest quality fuel sources for your body. Ketones and fat, best thing you could provide your body as a fuel, right? So it knows that it needs fat, but what has happened is our body is not typically in ketosis. Most of us are burning on glucose. We're running on glucose as fuel. That's carbohydrates and sugars, and that's normal, and that's what we've been taught, and it's what we mostly shop at the grocery store. That's mostly what's available, right? And a lot of us don't know any better. I know I didn't know any better until I started to learn, right? But what happens is when you're functioning on glucose versus the ketones or the fat in your body, is it's shorter lasting fuel. Okay. It's a more toxic fuel. So like when it burns, it's dirtier. Like when fat and ketones burn, it's like clean air. All right. So it's more of like a dirty air in your body. And it's just overall, honestly, your body functions better on the other two. Carbs, you crash fast, right? Think about like Thanksgiving and stuff. You eat a bunch, you get super tired, and you crash fast because it's the lowest amount of energy and it's the shortest living. Okay. So that's like, when you function on ketones and you're in ketosis, it's never ending, because your body starts to burn fat for fuel and then starts to burn your body fat for fuel. So you have this never ending supply of body fat. Everybody does. Nobody runs out of body fat. So that's the way your body's supposed to function. It stores the fat to burn it, but we need to remind it to burn it. So that's where the ketones come into play. Okay. So the ketones will tell your body to burn fat for fuel. The ketones will burn as the highest quality fuel source that you could provide for your body. And if you could wake up every day and first thing in the morning, provide yourself with the highest quality fuel source, would you? Would you or would you not? I mean, I personally would. So that's why we're here. That's what we're talking about. And, there's just so many benefits. If you were to Google ketosis benefits, there's so many. Now, of course, be careful what you read, because blogs are blogs and you never know what you're going to get with that. But if you plug into the right, like scientific ones, you'll see how beneficial it is, how extremely beneficial it is. So that's what keto is. That's what the ketosis state is. Burning fat for fuel, getting your body into that state. And now there's 2 ways to get into ketosis, or 3, or, there's, I say 3, but really it's 2, 3. Let's talk about it real quick. Fasting, right? 24 to 72 hours If you fast for that long, you'll go into a state of ketosis. We'll talk a little bit about fasting on this Zoom towards the end. But after that, it's following a strict keto diet, right? If you follow a strict keto diet, your body will produce ketones, and then you'll be in ketosis, and bada bam, you'll be there, right? Burning fat for fuel. You can also follow a moderate to lower carb diet. You could do like cycling of fasting and extended fasting and all these different ways to get into ketosis, or you can drink ketones to get into ketosis. Like just drink the ketones to get in ketosis. And that's what we're all here for, is to focus on drinking the ketones, getting in ketosis, focusing on this lower carb healthy lifestyle that I know we all want to achieve. And I'm excited. So I'm going to introduce now my friend Cameron. And before she starts explaining anything, right, I'm going to have her explain the ketones and the benefits and how they work in comparison to like the diet and stuff. But before you go there, will you do me a favor and just share your story with ketones? Because you have a really powerful story. And I know it's not just you, it's like your whole family is incorporated too. Like I know your husband drinks them, I know your kids drink them. So just kind of tell us about you, your family, and how you guys use ketones.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Sam, for having me on. And hello, everyone. It's good to see all y'all. So my name is Cameron Moss. I live in South Florida, and I'm loving this time change because it's like 7:12 p.m. and it's nice and sunny out still here. But yeah, myself and my family started drinking ketones back in February of 2016. So about 6 years ago, a little over 6 years ago. And when I'm kind of opposite of Samantha when it comes to like that sciencey person, like take all the notes. That's not me. I just wanted to know if it was safe and what was going to happen like long term. Like, was it bad for me? Was there any long term effects? Like, that's what I Googled, right? And the cool thing was I didn't find any of that. So I was super excited. But, you know, when my friend, I had this dear friend of mine, I've known her forever. She's like a big sister. She had been telling me about this drink, and her and her husband are like really healthy people. Like they work out a lot. They eat really clean, not exactly the same as what me and my husband were like we weren't incredibly unhealthy, but I definitely like looked at her as someone that I could take advice from when it came to like a product or anything like that. So she started telling me about this. And I decided to give it a try. I bought a trial pack from her. It was a Monday. It was my day off. So I figured it was a good time for me to give this stuff a try. I went home, I drank it. And like Sam said, so when I got started, there was one flavor and it was terrible. I held my nose, got it down. Fortunately, within about 30 minutes, I felt amazing. So I was like, okay, there's something to this. And you know, my story has a lot of levels to it. I had some health challenges. I had been diagnosed with Lyme's disease in 2011, and I was having some struggles with that. I'm someone who didn't want to take, you know, medication and stuff. So I just kind of dealt with it. But I had a lot of low energy. I would literally take naps in any pocket of my day I could find. Like, even if it was 10 minutes, I took that 10-minute nap. And so when I started drinking ketones, the main things that stick out to me right away benefit wise was, number one, I went down 3 pant sizes in my first 12 weeks. And that was just baby weight I had been holding on to, couldn't get rid of for anything. I wasn't dead by the evening time. Like normally took all I had. We have 4 kids at home. They play sports. Like life was busy. So I would get home, get dinner ready. And then I was like, done. I was like, I'm so done. And with this, it was like, I could keep going throughout my day. Like I was good. And then it was time for bed and I would lay down and I would sleep better than ever. Like, so it was the sleep, the mood, the energy, the focus, all of these things, the appetite suppression. And I just, every single time I drank it, every single day I drank it, it got better and better. My husband, of course, started drinking it with me. He dropped some weight, and in the first month, quite a bit of weight, like 15 pounds. And for us, it's just something that like, we don't even think about going without it. It's a non-negotiable. We wake up in the morning, we have it to start our day with. It's fasting friendly. So I know Sam said some of you are already drinking it, some of you aren't. So just so you know, like how simple it is, it's literally a pack of powder that you mix in water and shake and drink. We actually have a liquid version that just came out. So that's going to be a weird shift to actually not say powder that you mix in water, because that's what we always say. But you shake it up and you drink it, within 30 minutes, you're in ketosis. And it's just the easiest thing ever. Like I tell people, you don't need a blender, like keep it in your purse, keep it in your car, like wherever, just have it so you can keep it in your lunchbox, keep it in your desk at work. And you drink it once a day is a therapeutic dose, twice a day is optimal performance. I was talking to somebody earlier today and I was like, she's brand new. She's like on day 7 and she's like, it just keeps getting better every day. She's like, I don't even know what to expect next. And and she's like, I've only drank one a day so far. And I said, what I love about this is that even 6 years into drinking it, I still do amazing with, if I forget to have that second serving, it's not like I feel like, oh, I just crashed. It's time for another ketone. You know what I mean? It's like, I just keep going. And it's always my goal to have 2 because 2 is optimal. But even after this long with 1 a day, it still is like so magical. So, one of the great things about it that I love and that many people love is that you don't have to do a ketogenic diet with this. That diet that Samantha talked about as a way to get into ketosis, I would have never been an option for me. I'm not that person that wants to count every macro, carb, protein, fat, all of that. No, thank you. Like, just give me something simple I can follow. And so for this, what most people do is just like low carb and intermittent fasting. I know Sam's going to dive into some tips for maximizing fat loss, but just to give you an idea how I use it in my life and how I have for all these years, my husband, our grown children, everybody that drinks it is we just wake up in the morning, we drink our ketones. That's kind of like our breakfast. And then you pretty much eat low carb because you don't want all the carbs and stuff. And, ketones work in your body and they kind of like, it's like your internal driver. Like it tells you when you're hungry. It tells you when you need different things. And so to me, it's a tool. It's a health tool, a nutrition tool that makes complete sense. It makes sense scientifically with how our body was designed. And to know that it's that one thing that we can incorporate for all of those benefits, not just for fat loss, not just for energy, not just for sleep, but we know that across the board, everything's going to improve. And if you're already drinking ketones, I know you'll agree with me on that. So Sam, that's a little bit of my story and a little more about ketones. So hope that helps.
Yes, that was great. Thank you for sharing that. And I love the simplicity of it. That's what's helped me stay on track with it is the simplicity. So Cameron just mentioned fat loss, and that's going to be the first thing that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about a lot of different things, and Cameron is going to explain a lot of different things as well. So let's start with fat loss, how you can optimize fat loss with the product. There's a couple different ways. Let's start with 1 a day is therapeutic and 2 a day is optimal. You will definitely feel the difference. So play around with 1 pack a day and 2 packs a day and see what works best for you. See what makes you feel the best. Pay attention to your energy, your focus, your sleep, your mood, cut your cravings, curb your appetite. Here, hold on 1 second. Okay, there's my phone number. So it'll do all those things for you. And you want to utilize that as a tool by doing a couple things. 1, we can focus on your nutrition. Okay. Calories in and calories out is always going to be a thing, no matter what you do. I'm not saying you have to count calories by any means, but if you just pay attention to the amount of food that you're eating, right? Just portions, eat when you're hungry and eat slowly. So that way you can kind of be intuitive and feel, okay, you know what? I'm full. You don't need to be stuffed. Just listen to your body. Stop eating when you feel full. And intermittent fasting, that's another great tool to optimize fat loss. And what intermittent fasting is basically just eating during a certain time of the day. Okay. So I also have an intermittent fasting guide that I can send anybody. Just reach out to me. It's on my website. It's in the Facebook group. It's flying around everywhere. But basically what I do is I skip breakfast. I'm not really hungry in the morning. And what that does is it allows me to have a window of time, the times that I choose, and you can choose yours too. But during that time is when you're going to be eating your food. Okay. And what that does for the body is it programs it to know when it's to expect food, to not have to store food because it's not going to be worried about not getting food at that same time every day. It's kind of putting it on a regimen. So it's not storing fat. It knows that it'll get food the next day at that time or whenever your next meal is. It also gives your body time to digest and process the food. And it gives you flexibility to not be as strict on the foods that you're eating because you're only eating during those time periods. So for example, I stop eating, or I start eating at 12 to 1 o'clock every day. Like my body typically doesn't get hungry until about 1, sometimes 1:30. Like I know when I'm hungry, I'm like, I bet it's 1 o'clock. And it like always is now on the dot. I swear I used to set an alarm and now it's like my body knows. So I break my fast with some protein, right? Maybe some eggs, maybe some steamed vegetables and chicken. I eat a lot of protein. I love protein. I prioritize protein. Not only is ketosis a muscle preserving state, but protein is just so essential for our muscle. And we want to keep our muscle around as we age, but we'll talk about muscle and stuff later. But fat loss, focus on intermittent fasting. Then I stop around 7:30. Like I like to stop eating at like 7 or 7:30, like finishing my meal. That way I'm having like a 6-hour fast or a 6-hour eating window. Sorry. And if you do that 6 to 8 hour eating window every single day, you'll see some incredible results, especially with fat loss. And it'll help you with your emotional connection and stress related connections to food, because when you're able to eat, you can kind of think about what you want to eat. You can even plan out your meals. It makes things a lot more simple for you. It gets rid of decision fatigue too, a little bit. So another way to do it is really focusing on meal planning those meals, right? And I know this isn't just specifically ketone related. These are just some tips that you guys can do to optimize fat loss. Definitely meal prep, at least one meal a day. At least one meal a day. It's super simple. You can start with, make 3 meals, make your food for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 1 meal a day. And that alone will help you make healthier choices. We also have low carb delivery food, which I've been doing all of this week. If you guys are following like my stories, or if you're in our support and accountability chat, I've been dropping it. I'm in love with the Prove It food. And I love the Prove It food because 1, it's fresh, never frozen, organic, hormone free, all of the free, like no antibiotics, all the things that we don't want in our food. It's not in there. Okay. I love the flavor options or the meal options or whatever. They're so good. I'm obsessed with the loaded cauliflower. Oh my gosh. And they're all under 500 calories. They're all under 500 calories. That's a big deal because it's good. You microwave it for 5 minutes. It's delicious. There's a lot of options and it's very, 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 very affordable. So I'm obsessed. I'm in love. I'm a fan. I did it hardcore this week and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so easy. Again, eliminating decision fatigue. Can you tell that I like to eliminate making decisions? So these are some ways to optimize fat loss. Take the ketones twice a day. Definitely incorporate electrolytes. And Cameron's going to explain a little bit about our support products here in a little bit, but incorporate the electrolytes, stay hydrated, drink a lot of water. We can talk about intermittent fasting. We could talk about if you need the advice with nutrition and stuff. I'm here to help. Okay. I'm here to help you guys with anything that you need along the way. That's why we're doing this call. We're going to have a quick Q&A, or as long as we need Q&A at the end. And I'm here to help you too. So don't ever forget that. If you want to optimize fat loss, reach out and let's chat more. But I'm going to pass it back over to Cam, and she's going to go over hormones and sleep and mood and all the other benefits besides fat loss.
Awesome. Yes. Okay. So hormones, sleep, mood, muscle preservation, and just overall health. So just a couple quick things I want to note on this. So ketosis is actually our body's native state. We're actually born in ketosis. Our body was designed to operate off of our extra fat for energy, right? But what happens is when we consume glucose, which most people do, right, in some quantity, our body doesn't do that natural ketosis process anymore. So a lot of us, even though we're born in ketosis, we don't see it again until we either do extreme fasting, a keto diet, or a lot of people, their medical doctor recommends that they end up, if they have a good medical doctor, when they are faced with some medical challenges, they will recommend a ketogenic diet. There's a lot of different names to it. They call it the cancer diet, the diabetes diet, because ultimately you're putting your body back into that healing state. Okay. And that's just talking about ketosis in general, right? So when we consume ketones, even if we're not on a strict nutritional ketosis diet, we still have this amazing fuel source and our body is still in therapeutic ketosis, even if there's glucose present. That's never been done before, y'all. Like exogenous ketones, this is a new technology. But it's so cool because it's a new technology, meaning the fact that we can actually put these exogenous ketones, exactly the same as what our body produces, into our body and reach this state without having to do the dietary process is involved. So it's like really mind blowing. Like if you are a science person, like even if you're not a science person, like this part of it for me is really, really cool to understand, that part of it behind it and really why it was even created, which is for our Navy SEALs. But I won't get off on that whole tangent. Let's talk about the sleep, the muscle preservation and things like that. So a lot of people actually drink their ketones, like the non-caffeinated, before bed as a nightcap. We have a product called Keto Pro that I'll talk about when we do the overview, but it's actually ketones and protein. It's a drink. It's a ketone infused protein, comes in a pack just like the Keto Nat. And so having that serving before bed means you go into ketosis while you go to sleep, while your body goes to work, right? Ketones are also incredibly muscle sparing. I actually went down 3 pant sizes, gained 6 pounds on the scale. The only explanation there is muscle preservation, right? I was losing muscle before. Now I preserved muscle. I lost the fat. So I always tell people, expect a little bit of a composition. Don't study the scale like crazy, because right now your body is literally going to recompensate for different things. You're going to lose the fat, you're going to burn, or you're going to lose the fat, you're going to preserve the muscle, you're going to, and your body's actually naturally lowering the inflammation. Like there's a lot of magic happening. That's why I always encourage people, give this time. Commit to 3 months of drinking this every single day, no matter what, before you try to make any kind of decision on whether it quote unquote works for you or you're going to continue it or whatever, because the last thing I want is somebody to miss out on reaching all of these things. Right. And so that's sleep. That's, we talked about, hormones. So again, like, because our body goes into its native state, it really, truly creates a state of homeostasis in the body where things are balanced. Sorry, there's a boat going by with loud music. Your hormones are balanced, like everything, your blood, you have more oxygen in your bloodstream, right? So everything is just about, now the body can not only operate better, but people that normally have hormonal out of whackness are like, holy moly, like my heat flashes aren't happening. Like I'm sleeping good. My mood is more stable. So there's so much that comes along with that aspect from a hormonal perspective. Also, I wanted to touch on like anybody that uses like a pre-workout or anything like that, you're probably going to find that you may find that you don't really want or need that anymore. You create 38% more cellular energy when you're in ketosis. So you've got that extra ATP production, and you will definitely notice it in your workout, endurance, recovery, all of that. There's like animals chasing each other behind me. I have no clue what's going on. Okay, so let's see. And then again, just overall health, because it is our body's native state. Sam, I'll toss it back to you.
Sorry, I was looking for my unmute button. I had the windows moved over. Awesome, thank you. So basically, to give an overview of everything we just said, is ketones are amazing for you. Ketosis is amazing. And there's a million different benefits. You're going to feel like a superhuman. You're going to feel like a new human, and you're going to feel really good when you're in ketosis. So I'm going to briefly touch on, because I respect your guys' time and I don't want to keep you on here for like 4 hours, but I'm going to touch on our fasting kits, because a lot of you guys were asking me about fasting and the 60-hour reboot, what the 24 fast was. Well, this is also another way that you can reset your metabolism, optimize fat loss, optimize overall health, and really just get all of the best benefits from being in ketosis. So we have these fasting kits called the 60-hour reboot and a 24-hour fast. And they're just metabolism resets. They're such powerful little kits. And it's so simple, which is, again, why I love the simplicity of it. But the 60-hour one comes with everything that you need in the kit. It's 60 hours with no food, but you're supplementing. You're taking our bone broth, you're taking our electrolytes, you're taking our signal pills. There you go. Kara's got the 24 fast right there. That is basically the same thing as a reboot, but 24 hours versus 60 hours. So it has all of the same ingredients in there. And it's just a pack you can take with you everywhere. It's super simple. You mix everything up. You're consuming things every couple hours, but all of the things that you're consuming while not eating are very, very good for your body, keep you full, sustained. You feel good, you're focused, you're burning through your body fat, you're burning through the glycogen, and you're getting into the state of ketosis in very deep therapeutic ketosis. So my schedule for the fasting kits, I do at least one 60-hour metabolism reset every month. Sometimes I do it twice a month. Like if I know that I'm traveling or I have meals or whatever, I'm like, okay, I'm doing 2 reboots this month because why not? And then I do the 24 fast on Mondays, like metabolic Mondays. So I start Sunday night and then I eat again Monday evening. It's like a reset after the weekend. Fasting is incredible for the body. There are so many benefits of fasting that I'm actually going to do a whole separate Zoom just on fasting for you guys. That's going to be very informative. But there's so many good reasons why you should fast. So when you're supplementing with the fasting, it's so much easier, so much simpler, so much better for your body. And you can also buy all of the products that are in those kits. So that's what I've done at this point. I just have a box of the bone broth and a box of the electrolytes and a box of everything because I found what I liked. I found the flavors I liked, and I'd rather just do it like that. Right. So definitely try those kits, check them out. I didn't finish the full 60 hours the first time. So disclaimer, it's a mental toughness challenge. The first time I did like 48 hours, and the second time I was like, I'm going to do the 60. I was like, there's no way I'm not doing it. And I did it. So it's awesome. And I'll help you with everything you need along the way through that. So I'll bring Cameron back. She'll do an overview of what our support products are, just those products that I just mentioned, like the Mitoplex, the cream. We've got creamer for coffee, and we've got those protein ketones that she mentioned. And then we will do a Q&A at the end. And yeah, Cameron, take it away, sister.
Awesome. Well, Sam, I don't have the products on me, so whatever you have there, if you want to show it, sorry. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Mitoplex first, because I think that's really one of the most important products next to the ketones. It's something that we haven't always had, but I will tell you, there we go. Sam's got it there, beautiful Vanna White. This is the Mitoplex, and these are our upgraded electrolytes. And I will tell you guys this, and I'm telling you, I have not seen people get like the results that people are getting within a 10-day challenge with using Mitoplex with it is insane. And here's why, because number one, 75% of people are walking around severely dehydrated. Who really drinks a gallon of water a day? Okay. Maybe some of you freaks, but I never did. I'm just kidding. I love you. Listen, y'all, I didn't have time to go pee. That's a real story. And people tell me that every day. So I know I'm not alone. I was an esthetician by trade. I did facials, skincare, tattooing, makeup, and stuff. I didn't have time to go to the bathroom is what I told myself. So I didn't drink water all day. It's crazy. So many people like, oh, hey, Kara, I see you, girl. Thanks for being my Vanna White too. So many people just are severely dehydrated. And then we start drinking ketones. We put our body into ketosis, which is an amazing state. But guess what? It's natural diuretic state. Like it's a diuretic state. So now we get more depleted of hydration. And then the water that we do drink is reverse osmosis. It doesn't have all the minerals and stuff that we need in it. So these electrolytes are so important because minerals are important, right? So it just helps with everything like energy, all the things. So the Mitoplex, you use it, it's a support tool. You use it in your water throughout the day, once a day, twice a day, whatever. I like it because it helps me drink more water. So I'll do a big thing of water and put my electrolytes in and I drink it. I feel good, wake up and start my day with it. Oh, hold on, sorry. And then we've got the keto cream, which is your bulletproof coffee. Put it right in your cream and sugar. Right in your cream and sugar. Just kidding. Scratch that. Not in your cream and sugar. Put it right into your black coffee, hot tea, hot water. People make shakes with it. Samantha's like the mix queen. She probably makes like a green juice with it. She does everything with it. Listen, it's collagen, it's MCTs, and it's DNA repair. Like you cannot go wrong. It tastes good. You can bake with it. People make pancakes with it. Like it's crazy. So that's our keto cream. And then what was the other thing, Sam? What do you have there? MCT 143? Oh, the broth. Those of you that like to drink your meals, the broth is where it's at. It's like a soup. It's got ketones in it. It's amazing for you. By the way, you can access, Kara, she's so good. Access our support guide, our product guide. Sam can put it out there for you if you don't have it. But it's amazing. It lays all this out. And then our MCT 143, which is just straight up brain fuel. If you're using coconut oil and it's anything other than MCT 143, or MCT oil, I'm telling you right now, get this stuff. It's made by like the godmother of just the brain, Alzheimer's, dementia, all the things. So yes, and check out the support guide for a more extensive overview of all those products, but they are all amazing. So if you're using any of these support products outside of Prove It, these are like the best quality you can get. And if you are drinking the ketones and want to really optimize your experience, you want to grab these and start to incorporate them in as well.
Yes, big time. I love all the products. Can you tell? Me and Kara are like, we have everything. But it's truly because I love it all and I use it all, and it's high quality stuff. I'm a product snob. I'm a supplement snob. I care about the things I put in my body, and I have high standards for the things that I do for myself. So I have just fallen in love with the entire system and the way that it makes me feel. My whole family also drinks ketones. My kids drink them. My parents drink them. Like it's a whole family affair here, guys. So, we overviewed everything, the ketones, the benefits, the fasting kits, how to optimize fat loss, and all of the other benefits. If you have any questions about anything at all, actually, I was going to say about anything we just talked about, but anything at all, if you have any questions about your journey, if you're stuck, if you've hit a plateau, or anything that we mentioned above, now would be a great time. I probably should have asked everyone to drop it in the chat, but feel free to unmute. Feel free to unmute.
One question, Sam, and I think it came through when I was talking. So I would love to address that. And the question was, does the keto cream break your fast? And Sam, I would love to hear from you on this, but I was just talking to a lady that we work with a lot. Sam and I both work closely with her, and she's a keto mastery specialist. She trains under the top ketogenic experts in the world. And we were talking about this whole thing with like fasting. This is the thing with fasting, y'all. Like there's different severities of it that people like consider what will actually break your fast. And a lot of people, especially in the keto space specifically, bulletproof coffee, which would be like our keto cream, right? It's like fat coffee. It's giving you your MCTs. They consider it fine for fasting. Even though technically, if you broke it down and took it to somebody that was like a super, super strict, but it's one of those things that there's like a sliding scale, and ultimately 99.9% of people will still do just fine because it doesn't spike your insulin and all the things as the same as you ate food. So Sam, anything you want to add? Because I know you're like the fasting goddess herself. So definitely chime in.
I agree. I literally was just looking in our chat because I think I just dropped a whole like paragraph on this yesterday about fasting, so I was like, perfect. I am all for, you can have all of this during fasting. Have the keto cream, have the collagen, have the protein, because here's the thing. The protein, I would say I would do that to break your fast, but the other stuff, you're fine. And here's why. You are giving your body a break right now from digesting food, right? So incorporating some extra high quality fats or collagen or ketones or a few calories or a few whatevers, that's going to get you through still extending you putting food in your body and digesting and spiking your blood sugar and getting your body all ramped up. Please feel free to have some keto cream. Like, enjoy that keto cream, girl. You freaking sip on that keto cream because it's so good and it's so good for you. And I personally recommend it. And again, like Cameron mentioned, it is very opinionated in the fasting world. Like some people are like 0 calories raw, but that's not the case. Like, I just made a TikTok about it today too. How funny is that? About fasting and the things that you can consume while you're fasting. I consume all of this stuff. It's called supplemented fasting. You're giving your body the stuff that it needs. You're giving yourself a break from food. You're not eating a massive meal. You're not eating chocolate cake. It's freaking keto cream or protein or whatever. Girl, yes, have it. Enjoy it. There's my answer. All right. Do you guys have any other questions? I would love to answer any questions you can get as granular as you'd like to with your personal journey. Maybe some goals that you want to achieve that we can help you with, or did we just literally give you guys all of the information? Because we did talk a lot.
All right, I have something I can say, and it's kind of funny. I know when I'm in ketosis because I get like the chills for 20 minutes, and I know some people get really, really hot, and some people get really, really cold, and I'm like, brr, for like 30 minutes. I'm like, yeah, I know I'm in ketosis. I'm gonna go pee on one of my strips now just to prove it, But that's all I had to say.
Yes, that is so true. I get like that while I'm fasting. Like I get like cold. That's when I know I'm in like super ketosis.
I love that. And I would love to just add on, like, if you are newer and you're still in that phase where you're trying to like figure out what you're noticing, or like figure out if this is something that you're going to keep, like, do I notice enough that I'm going to keep doing this? Like, you know, keep in mind that everybody's going to experience something different. People always say, what am I going to feel first? Like, what should I look for first? And I'm like, you know what? My best advice is just be open-minded, because like Kara said, she can tell right when she gets into ketosis. A lot of people tell me, they're like, I can't quite pinpoint it. I don't really know. Like, I do feel more energy, but some people, the lady the other day is like, I feel like I talk more, but not like in an overly talkative way. But she's like, I'm very quiet, like, and really kind of reserved. And she's like, people are noticing like I'm kind of like a different person. And she's like, I kind of feel like I'm coming out of my shell. And she's like, but how could that be from a drink? And it's so cool because it's like, yeah, because your body, like, you feel good. You feel good. Like, you don't know what you don't know. The way that you feel before ketones, that's just what you know. You know what I mean? You use what you need to help you feel better when you want to feel better, whatever that is. People use energy drinks and all kinds of stuff for that. Then all of a sudden you're like, man, this is actually the way I'm supposed to be feeling. And there's, we never know exactly when you're going to hit that point, but just if you are newer, I just wanted to give you that encouragement. Is just like, look for the small, subtle changes in addition to like, major non-scale victories, scale victories, whatever it may be.
Yep. And you know what? You just reminded me too, while you were talking about that, like, and then I saw Tyler turned her camera on. Hi, I love the way you spell your name. My daughter's name is Tyler too. And I actually wanted to spell her name like that.
Yes, I wanted to jump on real quick and tell you because even my kids, my students, I teach first grade and have 20 kids in my class, and I absolutely just kind of hit rock bottom. I was always in a bad mood. I was always like lashing out at the kids. I wanted a quiet room. It was terrible. And I got on with Samantha, and ever since, it's like, even my students, they're like, Miss Cosley, you're in such a good mood today. And I'm like, I had my ketones. And they're like, what? And they see me drinking it all the time. So they realize, and they see, the change that I've actually started going through. My family sees it. I'm up early. I'm working out. I'm on my Oculus doing Beat Saber, just like going at it for like 45 minutes to an hour. And it's honestly just, it's really has been a game changer for me. So thank you for that.
I love that. I'm laughing because like we were having the Oculus conversation the other day. I'm going to do Beat Saber, and we were talking about the boxing one too. It's such a great workout. And I love that you just unmuted, because I was about to put her on the spot and ask if she could share. And she's just like, hi. But you reminded me too. I want to tell you guys, everybody can get their product for free. And that's something that Tyler just did too. Tyler's a customer, and she just got started with ketones. She's having an incredible journey, like she just shared. And every single person on the Zoom can get their product for free just by referring people. It's that simple. And just like she mentioned, like, people were noticing. If you don't mind, will you just share with us? I'm actually not sure how you did it, so I'm curious too. What did you do to share? How did you share, and how did you start getting your product for free? Because it's your first time.
So the first one that I started talking to came through school. So it was one of my daughter's teachers. And, I came into work, coming in my classroom, and here I am shaking my bottle. Like, I'm shaking up my ketones, and she's like, oh, what's that? And I'm like, you're going to love it, because I know, like, her past journey. She's been sick, not feeling well. And I told her, I said, let me give you one of my trial packages. I said, try it for 3 days and let me know how you feel. And so she started it the next day, and she just within the first day already started feeling amazing. And she's like, I like that. I need more. And I'm like, okay, well, here's my link. And so I'm still like as of today, talking with her about it and helping her, with her order and her journey. And then the other lady that I got with, she saw it on my Snapchat. So I would, film my little morning routine, pouring my my ketones into my drink, shaking it up, and then I'd be like, ketones, check, good mood, check, or just like putting off good vibes. And she saw it, and she's like, what is this? I need this. And that's how I got my first 2. And I've only been doing this for like 2 weeks, maybe.
Awesome. You're great. I freaking love you.
Thank you.
I love your good vibes. I love you. And
Thank you all.
you're like, so I love that we're all in a group chat too. If you're not in our group chat yet, you need to join. So message me. It's like an accountability and support chat. But yeah, it's really cool. It's really active and we've been having fun in there. So everybody can get their product for free. All you need to do is refer to people, share it with whoever, ask people to join you to do it too. I'm happy to help you guys with that. And I see there's 2 questions. Cameron, I'll let you answer the last 2 questions if you can, and then we can wrap this up. Do you want me to ask you the questions? Because I know
Yes. Trying to find them.
the first question is, why is this not FDA approved? I know it was said once before, but totally forgot.
So the FDA actually doesn't approve, they're not the regulatory board or whatever you'd call it that would approve a dietary supplement. So it just doesn't really fall into that category of what they approve. So that's the whole thing with FDA approval.
Yeah. And then if you only do the drinks and nothing else, if you have your own healthy lifestyle and food, will you still get the same results or will it take longer?
No, I mean, the ketones themselves are diet independent. So you actually don't have to change your diet. I mean, keto and low carb is for some people, they have other ways of eating that works best for them. We have people that are vegetarian, pescatarian. Sam and I have worked with a lot of professional athletes that have used it and Olympians, and they have like high carb and calorie diets. So it is diet independent. And essentially your ketones are going to actually help you figure out what the best way for you is when it comes to the way that you eat and fasting and all of that stuff. And so, what I would say is if you are looking for benefits with fat loss and you're just kind of doing your normal way that you're doing and you don't make any changes and you're not seeing the fat loss like you want, then maybe start to make some changes there. But most people find that even if they don't intentionally set out to follow a particular diet, you're still going to not want carbs as much. You're going to probably end up doing more of a low carb. You're going to probably end up eating less. You're going to probably not want a lot of sweets, right? So I feel like that's what happened for me. Like it changed without me going, oh, somebody's telling me I have to follow this strict diet. So, add them in, incorporate them in and let them kind of work their magic. And then you make the tweaks as you see and feel needed. And as your body kind of tells you to, and then we're here to coach you through, Sam's obviously amazing. She's been coaching people for the last 5 years with this. And so even if you come to us and say, hey, here's what I'm doing XYZ, not really seeing or feeling XYZ, then we'll give you some little tweaks and we'll say, hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do a reboot and have you kickstart. Hey, let's incorporate this. Hey, let's try to remove this from your diet. And then we'll just work on it until we find the exact path for you.
Yep. That's great. That's exactly what I would say too. And, a lot of people, I tell them when they get started, I'm like, just start drinking them and don't make any major changes so you can see like how they make you feel. And then depending on what your goals are too, is really how you're going to do your diet. Like if you have something that works for you, keep doing what you're doing that's working, incorporate the ketones. And I promise you, it's going to make it better, whatever it is that you're doing. And then if you want to boost and optimize the results and you do want to change your diet, like Cameron said, we can help you with that. So y'all are awesome. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. It's been 48 minutes, but I could talk forever about ketones. So if you guys ever want to talk, feel free. I'm just playing, but I'm always here to help you guys. Y'all are amazing. You're welcome, Carrie. Thanks, Kara, for helping out. Hi, Mike. Thanks, everybody. Rose, I'm so excited for you to get started. I'm super excited for you to get started. You're going to love it. And Tyler, thanks for sharing and thanks for letting me put you on the spot. I love you. I'll see you guys later. I'm going to save this recording, so feel free to share it with any of your friends if you think that they want to try some ketones too. It's a great way for you or even them to get their ketones for free. So I'll save the recording. I'll post it to my YouTube channel so you guys can share it. Love you all. Bye.